What is going on, guys? My name is Drakesy and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today's video is going to be me running through Wonder Kids and talented players on FIFA and Ultimate Team, and I'm going to be trying to guess their rating for next year on Ultimate Team. So I've put in a few ideas. Get your ideas and comments below whether you agree or disagree with my personal verdicts. I'd love to hear them, and also get some suggestions for the next video on players that you'd like to see the ratings of in that video. So without any further ado, let's get cracking into the video. So the first player I'm going to be looking at is going to be Pickford. Now, some people will say he's not a wonder kid and maybe he's not a young prospect. I think he's about 22 or 20. I think he's about 22, yeah. So some people would say he's a bit too old to be a wonder kid. But he has just recently transferred to Everton for 30 million. So he's obviously got something in his locker that Everton have seen, and they want to harness and they want to grasp him and get him into the team. And obviously he is a class keeper. He just didn't do too well for Sunderland. As you can see, I put the new card next to him, and yeah, I put up the stats in each category by a bit, but honestly, overall, I think this would be a fair rating for the player. He had a good season in a bad team, and you can't help the team around you, but he did a standout performance, and like I said, Sunderland got relegated, but he got bought for 30 mil, so that says it all about the player. The next player we're going to be looking at is Marco Asensio of Real Madrid, and as we can see, his card from this year started out as an 81. It's a decent looking card, but it then did in fact, I believe, get an upgrade to this card you see on your screen, which became an 82 rated card. So he managed to get an upgrade. He's had a good year. I believe that this guy actually scored the first and last goal for Real Madrid in their domestic season this year, so it's kind of an achievement, but he has had a good season overall. At the moment, as of recording this video, he is absolutely tearing up the under-21s World Cup. So he's having a good season. You wouldn't say season, but a good tournament out there as well in Russia, I believe. So my personal belief is that I think he will get quite a bolster up to an 84. Now, it's not the biggest bolster up, but I do think his stats will go up quite dramatically. As you can see, I put a lot onto his dribbling. People might disagree, but honestly, when you watch this guy dribble in-game, the ball sticks to his feet like, I would say Messi-esque, but I'm not going to compare him to Messi because Messi is out of this world and he's something completely different. But the ball does stick to his feet, and the kid's obviously got a talent. So Marcus Asensio, I think I'm going to give an 84 rating for this year coming up. Next up is going to be Marcus Rashford. So as we can see on our screens now, Marcus Rashford started out FIFA 17 with this card on your screens, the I nearly said 86, I mean the 76 rated card. He then did in fact get an upgrade to this 77 card we now see on our screens. So this was the card he finished up on. He didn't have the best season, but to be honest, he's a youngster and it's hard to get in time when Zlatan is in front of you as a striker. So he kind of got shipped out more as a winger, but now that Zlatan has left, somebody's got to be filling in that role. And if the United don't sign anybody, then it looks like Rashford will. And like I said, he's a youngster, he's had a good kind of season, getting in a few goals for the team, and that's why I believe he will also get a bolster up to a 79 rated card. As you can see, I've put up his stats somewhat overall even. Yeah, so yeah, that was my personal opinion. Like I said, you don't have to agree with these, but I think he'll go up 2 overall because EA and FIFA find it hard to give big upgrades to players. But as we can see, the main one that I would say has gone up are his shooting and his physical, something that I think a lot of players do get as they develop into maturer players. Next up is going to be Gabriel Jesus or Jesus. I'm not too sure how it is pronounced. I think if it's Portuguese, because Brazilians speak Portuguese, I think it is pronounced Jesus in Portuguese. So it is Gabriel Jesus, I think. And as we can see, this was his card from this year, the 78 rated card. Now, I do believe that he only joined FIFA in, I think it was about January earlier on in this year. So I think he was added in a later batch to the regular players in FIFA. So as we can see, this was the card that he was given on FIFA 17 this year. And I do believe that this guy is going to get a massive upgrade once again. And I think he's going to actually go up by 3 ratings. Now, you may not agree with this one, but guys, if you saw this guy in game, goals per game ratio, he was keeping out Aguero from the team. So this guy, I believe, is going to have a bright future in front of him, not only at Manchester City, but in the future of playing for Brazil and as a striker overall. So I'm going to give him an 81, as you can see. I've upped up his stats overall. I think what is fairly decent. I've upgraded his shooting by quite a large number to 82 because honestly I think that is what he is worth. When you're keeping Aguero out of a team, you've got to be somewhat decent. Next up is Kingsley Coman. So as we can see, this is his card from this year in FIFA 17, 81 rated left winger card. It's a decent card, but quite controversially, this is gonna maybe some people will disagree with this one, but as we can see, the new card I've given him is actually a downgrade by 2 ratings. This is mainly due to the fact that he's not been getting the game time and playing time that he needs. He's actually been kept out of the team, and as you know, if you're a player that's sitting on the bench, you do actually begin to, I wouldn't say lesser, you don't begin to lose quality because you're obviously training on a weekly basis, but you're just not getting the time to show your abilities and develop them further in game. So I've actually downgraded this guy by 2 ratings. Let me know if you disagree, but I did watch a bit of the Bundesliga and he didn't get much time, and also in the Champions League he didn't get much time, I believe. So yeah, the one and only downgrade on this list, but I do believe he may just get a little bit of a downgrade in next FIFA. So next up is Ousmane Dembele, and as we can see, this was the card that he started with this year on FIFA, the 77 rated right mid card for Borussia Dortmund. Recently just transferred, I believe, when he started at the beginning of the year from a French team. I can't remember which one it was. But as the year progressed, he did actually get a winter upgrade. I believe it's called a winter upgrade. It might have been an autumn, no. I think it could have been an early spring upgrade actually. I think they left it for a while. But as we can see, Dembele got the upgrade to an 80 rated card. So he jumped up by 3 ratings. So because of such a big upgrade, and the main upgrade, guys, looking at this card is his pace. His pace up went by massive. I think he went up by 8 ratings. So as we can see, he had a very nice upgrade during FIFA 17. So I'm not going to give him that big of an upgrade. I'm going to upgrade him to an 82 by next year. I think EA and FIFA will be hard pushed to up his pace anymore. So I think they're probably going to cap it at around 93. But I do believe that he is worth this. He's had a very good year overall for Dortmund. Dortmund haven't had the best season, but this guy, I think, did he get the Rookie of the Year in the Bundesliga? He's had a very good season either way, racking up goals and assists all round the show. So a very good year for him, and yeah, I think Dembele will get an 82. The next player we're going to be looking at is Gianluigi Donnarumma. Now, Gianluigi Donnarumma, as you know, is in a bit of controversy at the moment, refusing contracts at his boyhood club AC Milan, and looks like he could be on the move. But as of making this video, it hasn't been decided if he has moved. So if you're watching this and he's moved, at the time of making it, he's still at AC Milan. But getting that aside, as we can see, he started off the year with this 76 rated card. It's a decent card for such a youngster. I think he's like 17 or 18 at the moment, so he's very young indeed. And as we can see, he's got some decent stats for such a young player. That card actually did get an upgrade to this card on your screen, the 78 rated card. And some of the stats on this card do not represent a 78. He's got incredible stats. And because of that, I think he will get a huge upgrade. And because he's a goalkeeper, he's one of the best in the world. Many people putting him up there in the top 10 category. So yeah, I think he will get an upgrade massively because of this. And honestly, guys, I think he will get the biggest upgrade on this list to an 84. Now, you may disagree with this one. Some people might think, why on earth is he getting such a big upgrade? But when you're in the top 10 at such a young age, I think it's only clear to be giving him such a big upgrade. As we can see, I've put up his stats overall on the card as well quite a bit. But I think he's worth it, and honestly, guys, I think he could potentially get around an 84 for next year. Maybe not, maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe a +6 is just a bit too much, a tad too much, but fingers crossed he does get a good rating because it's always good to see on FIFA. Now we move on to the man, the myth, the legend, and that's the waving legend if it's going to be anybody. It's Dele Alli. As we can see, he's got an 80 rated card from the beginning of this year. Honestly guys, this guy's probably one of the standout players from all of the players we've looked at so far. For such a young player, he's got a lot of hype around him. And yeah, to be honest, it's up to you whether you think he deserves it. But personally, I think he does. He's had a world-class season this season. Him and Harry Kane are mounting up to be a fantastic partnership in the Premier League. But as I said, this was his card at the beginning of FIFA. And by next FIFA and FIFA 18, I think they're going to go big. And I think they're going to give him potentially a +5 upgrade overall. So as we can see, I think he could potentially get around the 85 rating. Now, some people might disagree with this, but honestly, I think he is capable of doing this. As you can see, the stats on the card as well may not represent an 85, but when a card is so well rounded in stats overall, they tend to give him a bit higher rating because all the stats are somewhat high. The only stats that are still low on him are his defending, but he's not really known for his defending in game. He can definitely tackle a ball back, but his main prowess and talents come out in attacking with the ball, assisting as well. He's got so much flair, and honestly guys, he's a fantastic player and I wish him all the best, and fingers crossed he gets this 85 for next year. Now we move on to the penultimate player on this list, and as we can see, it's the youngster, and when I say youngster, I definitely mean it. This guy, Alexander Isak, is only 17 years old. I believe his birthday is around the September mark, so he will be turning 18 this year. But still, he is so young. And as we can see, the card on screen now is the card from FIFA 17. And the upgrade I think I'm going to give him is this one here. So the reason why I've given him this upgrade and the reason why I think this is viable and fair is because obviously he's had the big money move through to Borussia Dortmund this year. It was the big breakthrough. At his previous team, I think he had a goal ratio of a goal every 2 games, which when you say it isn't that good for a striker, but for a guy that's 17 years old, scoring every 2 games, he's getting 1 goal. That's a very good ratio for such a youngster. He's got a lot of talent and a lot of time ahead of him to develop that talent even further. So honestly, I think a reasonable upgrade to a gold is fair, but what do you think? And now finally we come to the last player on this list. One of the biggest players in the world right now. There is so much hype around this kid. You know him, I know him, and this is his card from FIFA 17. So as we can see, it's a 71 rated. It's a decent card to be fair looking at it, but it's 71 rated, rare silver, and it is in fact actually a left winger card. Now this guy as well is 18 years old, so very young. Got a lot of talent once again and a lot of time to develop it once again as well. But I think this guy's got a bright future in front of him. No matter where he goes or if he stays at Monaco, he's definitely got a lot of talent, as I did mention. And I think that can only be backed up with, once again, a huge upgrade. And that big upgrade, I believe, would take him to a 79 rated card. Now, you might not be sure why I've gone a +8 on this guy. I mean, he is quite high rated in fairness to him. But as we can see, the reason why I'm going to give him such a big upgrade is because of the year he has had. He's been scoring in the Champions League, I believe. He's been scoring for Monaco consistently. And he's so young. And like I said, converted up from a left winger to a striker. He's got so much to his game that it's not even just pace, he's not just quick, he's got a lot of time and talent, and yeah, one of the brightest futures in world football at the moment. So definitely Mbappe, I believe, is going to get a huge upgrade along with Alexander Isak. I think I give him +8 for both of them, but yeah, like I said, what do you think? Get it down in the comment section below. And that's been my wrap up of the best potential wonder kids in the world and what their upgrades will be for FIFA 18. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Drakesy. If you have enjoyed and you want to see more content, get it down in the comment section below. Like, comment and subscribe for much more, and see you in a bit.